All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Black Bullion Show. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about one of the key benefits in becoming a gold and silver stacker. And for those of you who have been longtime stackers, I believe this information that I'll share with you shortly will be beneficial for you as well. But first, if you're new to this channel, please hit that big red subscribe button right down below. Also, please hit the like button. Helps to get this economic evangelism right on out there to the masses to bring more people into precious metals. Okay, so why convert this stuff here into this stuff here? Okay, well, for one, it's a great tool in combating systematic risk, and also known as undiversifiable risk. Now, most of you probably have a portfolio of stocks that are diversified and, among various companies and various industries. You may have a 401k, for example, or something equivalent to that with diversified stocks and so on, right? Well, that's all well and good. Well, but you know, if you're able to get a decent return while also lowering your unsystematic risk, that's really great. Can't knock it. But notice how I didn't say risk in general. I said unsystematic risk. Now there's a reason for that. Most people will blanketly say a well-diversified portfolio, will reduce your risk, but that's only to an extent. The most well-diversified portfolio will reduce your exposure to unsystematic risk, also known as specific risk. Now, this type of risk, for example, is associated with the performance of an individual or specific stock. A well-diversified portfolio cannot protect you from something else called systematic risk. Now, for something like that, you're going to need something else, or you're going to need a different kind of strategy. So, Black Bullion, if a well-diversified portfolio doesn't protect me from systematic risk, what does? Well, here's the thing. You actually lessen your systematic risk through hedging or properly allocating your assets. Now think about this. You have some stocks that are diversified in your portfolio, but that's only just one type of asset. You may have some fiat, and another, that's a specific asset class. You may have some metal here. That's part of another asset class as well. You may have fixed income from your job. That would be considered an asset. So these are traditionally viewed as assets, but simply viewing them on the surface level isn't such a good idea. You have to take into consideration other things as well. For example, each type of asset poses its own unique type of risk. For example, a stock, is a share of a business, and that business could go belly up, for example, and go to zero. And for example, this stuff right here, this cash, this could be obviously just gone, stolen. Someone could take it. And that's a risk in having, physical cash. But also, in addition to that, there's an individual theft happening with the Federal Reserve by printing this stuff to no end, and it steals the purchasing power of these guys to the point where, hey, maybe 20, 30 years from now, instead of going to the gas station, you see that it's $30 or $3 a gallon. It may actually be $20 a gallon. Who knows? But the way things are going nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised if 20 years from now, it may just, you may only get 1 gallon of gas for this. If gas is even legal, a gas-driven car is even legal back, in that time, who knows? Now, if you own real estate, for example, hey, the risk is location, 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 right? There are people down in Portland who, for example, Unfortunately, they have real estate in that area or near that area that succumb to fires. And I hope none of you guys were impacted by that are watching. But if you are, thoughts and prayers. But a lot of those people had real estate in a certain area that I heard wasn't prone to fires, but if you just think about that general area of the country, a lot of drier air. People talk about a whole bunch of other things that kind of go into it. But again, location, location, location. Now, what about these guys? What's the risk here? Well, for these guys specifically, I could come in, grab one of these guys, and take it, right? But the one thing that's different between metal and paper is that metal, the more they print of these guys, that actually benefits these guys. So the risk in keeping this actually benefits the fiat denomination of these guys. The main risk here is just, physical theft. As far as, its actual purchasing power and in fiat terms, it actually increases. So if you hold some of these guys, you gotta hold some of these guys, in my opinion. Now, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that, so definitely talk to a financial advisor or financial planner. Anytime you get into anything, there's risk. So definitely, I'm just a guy on the internet who is just giving you his opinion on certain things. But in general, if you have these guys, they will benefit you in what I like to call asset class diversification. Now, asset class diversification is going to help you when it comes to systematic risk, because again, when it comes to asset allocation, you're gonna have to figure out all the different types of assets that you have, put them together, figure out what the distribution is that you want to put into them. And there's so much that goes into it, and I can't, sit here and tell you guys about the specifics of your situation, because asset allocation is a very individualized process. But what I can say is that you are protecting yourself from unsystematic risk by having a well-diversified portfolio. You are also protecting yourself from systematic risk by having proper asset class diversification and allocation. So guys, let me know what you think about all of that in the comments section below, and and if you're considering becoming a gold and silver stacker, or if you are one right now, let me know what you think. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. Please hit that like button, Please hit that subscribe button right down there. It is Black Bullion for goldandsilvertoday.com.